All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. I actually did an Instagram poll today asking if I should do my next video about love, and a lot of people said absolutely not. I don't want to hear about it, but the poll ended up 67% said yes, do it, please, we want to hear more. So that's what I'm going to do. I was going to post it next week for Valentine's Day, but I'm going to do it early because I'm actually going to be in Mexico. So I don't want to not post it or post it late because of my traveling. So I'm going to do it today. And I just want to do a humongous disclaimer at the beginning of this, okay? I am not a love expert. I am not a relationship expert. However, I've been through a series of train wreck relationships. And when I say a series, I mean back to back to back to back to back, okay? And when that was happening, I decided I need to figure out what is the problem and try to fix it. And maybe not fix other people, but fix myself and what I can do in the situation different. Because in every situation, you can either blame someone else or you can take responsibility. And you can't take responsibility for everything, but there is always something that can fall on you and that you can fix and improve. So I've read numerous books about love and dating. So if there's something that I say that you want me to expand on, or something that you have questions on or whatever, or you want to hear my personal experiences, just message me on social media or comment below and I will tell you all about it. I'm gonna give you a lot of points, and I hope with this episode to bring you a lot of value. So either you can rewatch it and watch it over if you want to pick up those points, or you can take some notes. I suggest taking notes because then you can look back on it later on. First thing I'm going to start with is if you're looking for someone or you're hoping that you're with the right someone, the biggest point is you have to know yourself first. It starts with you. You have to know you and everything about you inside and out before you go looking for somebody else. So what I mean is similarities are critical in a relationship. And I know that we've heard forever and ever that opposites attract. It's the truth. Look back on all your relationships. The person you're with is always the complete opposite of you. However, similarities are what bring you together and help you enjoy each other. The differences will drive each other crazy eventually. So don't find somebody who is complete opposite of you. So you need to know yourself to know what you like in order to find somebody who is very similar. So ask yourself these questions when trying to find out who you are. What are your goals in life, and what do you want out of life? What do you want to do with your life? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? You need to find somebody who is going to join you in those goals or have similar goals, or else you're going to be butting heads all the time. Okay, what bores you and what is fun for you? Okay, you cannot be with somebody who enjoys video games if you hate them. And that's just a very small example, but I mean, you want somebody who's going to do the things that you like to do and have fun in the same way that you like to have fun. And if something that they do is very boring to you and you're not interested at all, it doesn't mean it's a deal breaker, but don't you want to have fun together with your best friend and the person that you love and the person you want to spend the rest of your life with? So way to figure out what is fun for you and what bores you is figure out your hobbies. If you don't have hobbies, you need to get some hobbies, okay? Nobody wants to be with a boring couch potato person who is uninteresting and doesn't look forward to anything in life. Find some hobbies. And then last but not least, what are your deal breakers and what are your must-haves in a mate? I think the easiest way to figure this out is kind of just maybe go through your past relationships and figure out like what was a complete deal breaker and write it down. And then you can also go through those past relationships and figure out like, okay, this was a positive in this relationship. This person did this and I really loved that. So make a list, maybe 5, 10 things of each, what you must have and what is a deal breaker. So that if it's written down, then you can go back to it and be like, wow, this person that I'm dating has none of these characteristics that I'm looking for. Why am I wasting my time with this person? And it makes it very, very easy to go from there. So the next set of things we need to look at is if you're with somebody, you need to evaluate them and your relationship. And these are some questions that can help you. So when you're with this person, do they make you feel like you're free to be who you are? Like you don't have to change anything. You don't have to be this person that you're not. Make sure that that person makes you feel that way. Do they do what they say they're going to do? Are they dependable? Can you count on them? in these tiny little things, because that's really important for later on through the big things if they're going to be there for you. Okay, also, are they in debt? And it's not a bad thing if they're in debt. A lot of people will say that. I don't think it's a bad thing if they're in debt. However, do they have a plan to pay off that debt? Okay, maybe it's not important to you. Maybe your finances are a wreck too, which you should work on. But however, if they're in debt and they don't have a plan to pay it off, or they're not paying it off, or they do not care, imagine how that's going to be a problem in your relationship later on, especially if finances are important to you. You got to think about this a little bit. Like, do you want to be their partner or do you want to be their mother? And I really think in finances, this becomes a big issue. So pay attention to that. Also, do you guys have the same energy level and activity level? This kind of goes back to like hobbies and things like that, where, you know, if you're somebody who's outgoing and wants to go do things and see the world and go adventure and things like that, like, it's going to be very hard for you to be with somebody who wants to watch TV shows all day or wants to sit in the house or doesn't have that same energy level as you. It's going to drive you crazy. Do they have goals? And do they talk about those goals with you? There's nothing more frustrating than somebody when you ask, hey, where do you want to be in 5 years? Or what's some plans or goals that you have? And they're like, well, it's really hard to tell what time will bring, or it's hard to say where I'll be in 5 years. I promise you that means they have no goals. Or maybe they do have goals and they're not working towards them, so they don't want to talk about it. Or maybe they're a quitter. They have a goal and they never follow through on it. So pay attention to that. Bring that conversation up. Another humongous thing is, do you guys have similar beliefs? Whether that's beliefs about religion or politics or how to raise children, or if you want children or you don't want children, your core belief system is so important that you have similarities in that, because I've seen so many couples close to me, even myself in relationships, where the belief system clashes so bad that it's almost like, what the heck are you doing together in the first place? This is never going to work. So pay attention to those things. If you already have somebody and you're in a relationship with them, things that could be deal breakers. Now let's talk about how you break the cycle, the train wreck cycle that we've all been on. Okay, I think the major thing in this is, if you find out that this person has none of your must-haves and all of your deal breakers, but you're still sticking around, you need to break that cycle. Many times when you're in a relationship, the red flags and the scary things that come up, they don't come up until you're already so emotionally invested in this person that you feel like you can't leave, or that you've already invested so much time and energy, like, let's try to get through this, which, you know, in some cases that can happen. Sometimes you can make things work, and if both people are committed to making it work, that can happen. However, a lot of times the happy couples who made it through all this stuff, that's usually an exception, not the rule. So don't use couples that have this wild love story where he cheated on her several times and they still came back together and all this stuff. Don't use that as the guiding basis for relationships in your life. Okay? That is the exception, not the rule. So remember that. Also, I think a big point is evaluate what you bring to the table. This is really important, because the person that you're dating should bring just as much to the table, and they should highly appreciate what you have to bring to the table. If they're not doing either of those things, like what is the point of being with this person? Adapt a zero tolerance policy for addictions and abusive behavior. I can't tell you how many relationships I've been in with people who have been addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, all kinds of things. And I stuck around because I thought I could help them through it. Let me promise you this. You cannot help them through it. The only person who can help them through it is themselves when they're ready. Otherwise, you're just going to be emotionally hurt, bruised, damaged, and brokenhearted through that process. I promise you, just listen to me. And abuse, you guys have heard it before. There's mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical violence, all of those things. Adapt a zero tolerance policy. And especially when you very first start to notice those red flags, you must get out. You must get out now. Leave now, not later. Okay, become very good at saying next. Once you start to realize who you are and what you bring to the table and what you want in a partner, it becomes so easy to say next. There's no reason to waste your time with somebody who is never going to be the person for you. Say next, go find the person that is. Okay, so when I first heard this presented, it blew my mind. So I hope that I'm able to say it in a way that it will blow your mind as well too, and it'll make you think about the relationships that you're in. Okay, so there's 8 billion people in this world, in the entire world. But let's break it down. So where we are living, where most of us grew up, where most of us are familiar with, in the United States of America, there's 323 million people. So now I did some research and I broke that down into ages 20 to 40. Okay, so mostly the age that most of you guys are and the dating range, age 20 to 40. There are 44 million males and about 43 million females. So it's a lot of people, okay? So the point I'm making is, let's say that only 100 of those 40-some million people fit every single one of your requirements for a perfect partner. They look good, they have the same belief system, they have morals, they have the same hobbies, you guys have the same goals and energy levels and everything. The chemistry is good. Everything's great with these 100 people. Wouldn't you want to do everything you could to at least find one? Okay, so if you would do anything in your power to find just one of the 100 that fit your requirements, why are you still begging for that person to feel the same way as you? Who doesn't? Why are you still losing sleep over someone who doesn't want to be with you? Why are you still freaking out that you don't have the same goals as your boyfriend? Find the one that does. Why are you acting like your ex is the only person left on this planet that will love you when he doesn't even show that he loves you? Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but there's so many people and we sit here losing sleep over one that's not treating us right. One that's cheating on us every day. One that's not making me feel emotionally supported. One that is addicted to drugs and alcohol and will not fix it. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And I know might sound ridiculous to some of you, but there's even people who are killing themselves over a breakup because they feel like, how can I go on without this person? One person in a country with 43 million others that are looking for their person too. Anyways, I hope that brought some value to you guys. I hope that I was able to challenge your thinking and maybe help you open up your mind to getting this thing right, because we're all doing it so bad. And I say we all because I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've never been married. I'm still searching. Like, I just want you to know that there is a different way. Like I said at the beginning, I've read so many books on this subject. In the description below, I'm actually going to include a couple of those. So if you want more information, or maybe you're like, wow, she has a point, I'm going to dig a little further into this. Also, go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Please subscribe to my page and then click on the bell next to the subscribe box, which will let you know whenever I release a new video so that you won't miss anything. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope that I brought some kind of value to your life or enlightened you in a little bit at least. Anyways, please comment below, like this, share this, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.